I lost that name. You have any comments? One take?
Okay, so I wanted to say, this culture did not start from just our colonial masters. Before they came, our people lived minimum basic lives. So you're one hut, your several wives, and your plenty children. But the moment our needs went beyond basic, we needed to do more to meet it. So slavery started. We sold ourselves, sadly, because some people would say, no, they stole us. Yes, they did steal some of us. But some people thought, you're owing me, I would sell you off to recover the debt. And so we sold ourselves. That started from there. We were not satisfied. We moved on to hijacking people's kids. If it's somebody else's child, it's okay. But if it is your child, then you think different. And that mentality is how we started this. That's why in their own country where they refuse to sell themselves, they put in policies that are general, social welfare of their people, common wealth of their people grow together. But here, I will just take my own for myself and my children. I will amass enough that their children, until one generation becomes stupid and gives up everything, then we'll start afresh. But I would amass it. And that's the mentality with our politicians. And it got worse, not just with the colonial, it got worse with the military. Yeah. When it was time for the military, you shook hand and pack. You pack it with your full chest. Whether you can chop it or not, you choke on it. You pack the one that will bury you. You bury it, you do that, and the big boys, and they came with power. Their money is matched with power. So they are going, they want you to clear from the road, you do not clear, they will shoot up in the air, everybody will scamper, they can even shoot at the crowd. And there was no consequence. And so our people tested wealth without explanation and power, absolute power that corrupts absolutely. And so we are here now, every young boy now who has gone to school cannot find a job. The mother will ask him, how is your friend meeting up? Their own family needs. People are moving into houses their children use their own money for. It is not armed robbery. You know, people would excuse.
Yeah.
And so
it's our money they are spending.
We lost our values that are moral.
Let me take this comment.
And we are here now.
Let me take this comment from Ifeoma Eleni Toba Johnson. She said that to tell you how bad this attitude of not coming together to condemn when a crime happens, do you know it contributes to some of the deaths we record in our schools, where parents castigate other parents who try to put the schools on their toes, are booed, insulted, and embarrassed. That attitude is real in our society and part of why our leaders are not accountable to us. That's another person's perspective. So I guess we can see it at different levels in our society and how we do.
I see what she's saying, because let's talk about traffic. Someone is doing the wrong thing in traffic. And you that you're insisting that, okay, I'm not moving until you turn back and go the right way. Everybody like, hey, your own is too much. What is it? Just move. And then you say everybody will wait for the person who is doing the wrong thing to get away with it. How dare you? So it's
a school bus with a full bus of kids do one way. Saying that because they are children, they just need to get them, showing them what example, and then we wonder in 10 years.
So it's the same cycle that we keep doing, and sometimes we need to highlight these things, because when we drive, when we walk around, we think, oh, we are the good Nigerians. But guess what? We all have things that we do in different ways. All of us.
We are no longer patient.
Let's take a few more comments and we wrap up on this.
Okay. CP Ngo says there are many more like him. The people know them, but they want the police to employ magic to fish them out. Irresponsible citizens incubating criminal elements is our bane, and that's the truth.
Yeah, Tone says poverty is a spirit, and it manifests in the way successes are celebrated and displayed. The society has gone down morally. The need to live in extravagance at all costs is alarming. They are supporting either.
And this degenerating culture we talked about earlier. I mean, I was going to link it up to even the way we dress. You know, yes, I'm not one to talk about judge people's dressing, but we've seen that. What the pastor was saying recently that he doesn't understand people's wedding dresses anymore. He doesn't understand the kind of wedding dresses people make. Like, everything is just up for show. You're thinking, okay, is it that, yes, your husband might like, I have a brother who likes his wife looking very sexy. I mean, and when I was fresh from Nigeria then, and I used to go and see him, I used to wonder, how can she? Because I had that Nigerian mentality. All she was just wearing was a tank top or maybe like a nice small top and a pair of jeans. But for him, it was too much. And I used to wonder, why would you let your fiance go out like that? I guess she looks good. And I'm thinking, But then, now I know better. But then, it was really bizarre for me to see women half naked just walking around. So, is it that our thinking is yet to change, or maybe we are the ones exaggerating.
We're getting worse by the day.
Is it that we are getting worse, or should we begin to adapt or realize that it's not a big deal? They are not, at least they're not doing anything promiscuous.
And then we reach here with the refusal to call out what a bad thing for what it is how we got here. So now we go to parties with our small children, 2 years, 3-year-old, and all the children you are winning out of breast milk.
They are looking at another breast.
All the breasts are everywhere. See breasts everywhere. In the name of fashion, they will pop it up. They will do all sorts of things. I can't even imagine. So these days, I just prefer sitting in my house because you can't tell people how to dress. It's the truth. Or if I must attend, I don't carry my children. We don't have any standards anymore. You're at the one that I cannot believe is my friend attending her own father-in-law's burial. And she wasn't mourning. She wasn't
Everything
mourning.
was
I had
out.
to ask her. I'm sure I'm the only one. Auntie, are you sure at the burial site? No, I said, no, it's a celebration of life. Oh. The breast was up to here. Popped up. And the husband was dancing beside her. Her husband likes her to dress
pop up like that.
at his father's burial. We must talk sense.
When it comes to dressing, I believe that there's dressing for every occasion. And yes, and I feel that sometimes we misdress for some occasions. Some people don't do it knowingly, and with some people, with experience and going out and exposure, they learn. For some people, it's lack. You can actually see there's lack of exposure, and the more they see, the better they become. Even the very wealthy people that we like to emulate and want to be like and show that we are, almost in the same, they understand the rules. Yeah. And so for me, I think what shocks people is to see something that is not meant for a particular place displayed for, in a particular place. Yeah. So I've always said that here in the South, I've always been shocked by the fact that when it's a funeral, people are dressed to the nines for funeral. I'm like, how are you not in mourning? How are you like this? Are we at a nightclub? I've seen that. But it's a culture of the people, and they're doing it, and they're saying that, yes, and they call it celebration of life. And when they explain it to me, I get it. It's a celebration of life. But for me, where I come from and how I was raised, it's still a no-no. It's still hard for me to understand that. So for me, is raise our children to understand that modesty and the word I'm looking for is just moderation. Moderation, especially when it's important. Yeah. Know where you're going and how you should be dressed in that.
We're evolving. The world is a global village, and we're seeing that tank tops and shorts is not a big deal. Back when we were growing up, it was like bomb shorts. What do you call it? Bomb shorts and tank top was like we don't just wear it around. But when you now go have a bit of exposure, realize that it's hot. Wear the bomb shorts and the tank tops, even if you are full chested, where you are hot. There's nothing wrong. It doesn't mean that you are being promiscuous in any way. So with that evolution or with that thinking in mind, is it just about appropriate dressing to the right place? Because if my church doesn't have air conditioner, and I feel that and I want to worship there, I can wear a short dress, something light, and just cover my hair, and I still feel okay.
So, Mariah, we're evolving in different directions because we don't have a sense of identity. Yeah. We don't have we don't know where, as a country, we don't know where we are going to. Exactly. We don't have a vision board to say, okay, this is where we want to be in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20. No, I'm just telling you, if you are doing a business and you can't project to say, this is where I want to see myself or I want to see my business in the next 5, 10 years, you'll be doing things anyhow. By the time you get to that 10 years, you are still where you are if care is not taken. But if we begin to look inwards, what is a Nigerian? What can we be known for as Nigerians? Do we hold on to a culture of decency? Where because you're a Nigerian, there are some things you cannot wear. Because you're a Nigerian, when you're going out, there's certain ways that you have to present yourself. We need to start understanding that as Nigerians and helping our children understand that. But if we have to follow every trend, because that's what's happening now, once you have money, small money, every trend that happens, every outfit that is brought, you see people killing themselves to buy, I don't want to mention the names of the designs, but they must wear this and they must wear that and they must wear this and they must have this name in their house as their shoes and everything. That is how it starts. There's no direction. So tomorrow they bring out spaghetti and bring out macaroni, and you have to buy it because that's the trend. But if you have, and it has to start with individual homes. If you say in my house, so this is how we dress, this is the culture, this is our
old school.
It doesn't matter what you call me. You are in my house,
something-
when we finish that one and you go to your house, you can create your own culture.
Let me take this call from Osasa. It's calling from Majekpinle. Good morning, Osasa.
Morning, Madam Morales.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I want to just contribute for this your issue of women dressing. You see, we ourselves here, we can't control everything. Government need to put
Government
hand on
again.
Inside
I'm
dressing.
telling you.
See, we point fingers. It's never us.
Government need to put some laws about this dressing. Because if you say, let us control ourselves with this, we can't.
You can control yourself.
I'm telling you the truth. We see everything in our area here. All because of money issue. I'm telling you the truth.
Thank you very much, Osasa. So again, what I want us to see is that we always say somebody did something, somebody's government that did it, is the colonizers, it is the father, sometimes we as human beings must begin to take responsibility for our own actions.
Yeah.
We as a people must say, okay, I'm not going to take one way. I am not going to
litter the floor.
I'm not going to, we as human beings must begin to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Let's stop this culture of it's government. Government has not done this.
Government cannot tell you how your children will dress in their house.
It is the drivers. It is the schools. Somebody's always responsible. Yeah. All of us do
There's
this.
freedom and there's regulation, and that's where government comes in. So we're all free. We're doing democracy, but we're free to do. But if you do not have a regulation, there will be no. What BC is talking about, that national code, which is not just your family, because sadly, people have family values different. But if you join us, it's not collective. That's why when you marry, you start to do different from the one you were raised. Yeah. Or you end up as a child spending your holiday with your father has taught you, different. You just learn to do different when you get to Rome and be a Roman when you get out. So
we have to wrap up on this. Let me just let you final comments.
Yes, I was going to say that I think we can say in Nigeria, we can call ourselves a conservative country, conservative culture. But in every country, there are some people that will do things a bit differently. Even the America that we would point out and say they have, they dress anyhow. There are some communities and some states and some places that when they are more conservative than others, that even when they see the things that we see and we open our mouths, they open their mouths alongside us. So, but you would find people who are coming from abroad, coming to Nigeria, and they will say that they are dressing more conservatively because they know that they are coming to Nigeria. So I believe that we have a code, but the generation the younger generation, we're influenced globally. Now, and I did not also want to make it about just women dressing. Our younger men, much younger, the boys in 20s, maybe 18, they are braiding their hair. They have longer hair. While the girls are cutting their hair really short, the boys have longer hair. They have earrings on. They are painting their nails. Even the dressing now is androgynous. Fluid. You can't really tell. So whether we like it or not, global fashion affects how we put ourselves out. But you know that in Nigeria, if there are places you want to go to and you dress like that, whatever you see, you get. You want to go to an office and you dress with your long hair.
You will not get that job.
Okay, that's all we can take. I think we can end with that. But in a nutshell, really, this conversation started from the young man who stole money, but then flaunted it on social media. And we're just talking about how the identity, how we put pressure on each other, how people's priorities have changed, how community, families, loved ones, we've all just changed our priorities because everybody has commercialized everything, and it's all about how much money you can bring in and how much you can flaunt. But at the same time, we don't want to forget the crime of stealing is equally bad. That's what we can take on this segment. We'll come back and bring in our...